Hi, Dan Stephen Erickson here, songwriter, and today I'm going to do a little review of one of my instruments. About a year ago, I bought a Gibson L00. It's this one right here. You probably see me playing it quite a bit. And it's not a bad guitar, but I'm questioning whether I want to keep it. So let's talk about it a little bit. First of all, it's a good sounding guitar. It's got good balance of the highs and lows. It's not bad, but it's not great either. And I did a review a while back of $700 Martin Triple-Aught Junior. And I gotta say that I almost like the sound of that guitar better than this $3,000 Gibson L00. I don't know what it is. Martins tend to have more mid-range. The Gibsons tend to have more highs and lows. It's also, one thing about Gibson is they do a lot of adornment, right? They do the fancy looking pick guard, they do the binding along the edges, and then that's all cool, except this guitar within a year, or maybe a little less, has developed a problem. And that is the binding right through here. And you're not gonna be able to see it, it's so subtle, but right here between the binding and the body, the glue is actually coming out of there. Now this is a $3,000 guitar. I wouldn't have expected that within a year for the binding to start separating from the body, but that's what's happened. And another thing I don't like about this Gibson is there's only one, there's a strap lock right here, a strap peg, but there's only one. So your only choice is to either put another peg in, drill a hole and add another peg, or use the strap that goes around and underneath the strings on the headstock of the guitar. And I would rather have the peg, but I don't really want to have a hole drilled in this guitar. I mean, not only would it cost probably $100 to do, it hurt the integrity of the guitar as it did that smack on the little table. So anyway, I mean, it's a beautiful guitar. It sounds pretty good, but I'm not impressed with Gibson's manufacturing compared to Martin's. I used to own Martins. I had a Martin Triple-Aught, and I had a larger Martin. It wasn't a D28, but it was that size. It might have been a D18, I don't remember. And now I've got the Martin little Triple-Aught. But this Gibson, I mean, I thought a Gibson was what I really wanted, right? Because I have an old Gibson that I'll show you at some point in the near future. I've got an old 1967 Gibson. It was an LG1 that I found cheap. It had some damage. A luthier did some work on it, turned it into an LG2 with cross bracing, and that guitar I have very few complaints about. I mean, it's an old guitar. I got $1,000 into it, bought it for $600, put $400 into it with the luthier, and it's a great guitar other than the neck is kind of skinny. And this Gibson neck's a little on the skinny side too. Not as bad as the older one though, the old LG. So I am debating trading this in and getting a higher level Martin instead of this Gibson. I haven't decided yet. I've talked to Gibson about repairing where it's separating here, and they say, well, you have to have a receipt. You know, I bought this thing less than a year ago. Well, about a year ago, maybe a little over now, August or September of 2024. And I thought for sure they might be able to just see that based on the serial number, but no, they need a receipt. I have the receipt somewhere. I don't know if it's in Maine or if it's here in a box. I've looked around a little, haven't been able to find it. The Guitar Center up in Portland, Maine probably can reproduce one, so I might look into that next week. But there's another part of me that's just saying, you know what, just trade it in. Just trade it in and get something a Martin. I haven't decided yet. So if Gibson will actually, one way or another, repair this thing without any charges to me, that might be an incentive to keep it. If they're going to play games with me and say, well, you have to have a receipt, and if I can't get a receipt from Portland, this guitar's going. It's going to get traded. I'm not impressed with Gibson as a company these days. I feel like the guitars are a little over a year old. In the case, there's a little ticket that says it was made in 11 of 23, or inspected 11 of 23. Sat in a store for about almost a year. I bought it, 8 months, 9 months. I bought it. I've had it about a year, and they're not willing to guarantee their workmanship without me proving my ownership with a receipt. I get it, you should have a receipt for everything, and I have that receipt, I just don't know where. You think they might say, oh, okay, we get it. You moved from Maine down to Nashville, our shop is right here, bring it in, we'll take care of you. But that's not what they said. So we'll see what happens. My overall thoughts about the L00 is, it is a fair guitar, but it's not like the old ones. Something happened, and I don't know when, but Gibson's quality for acoustic instruments changed. I'm not sure when. The old 50s, 60s, 70s Gibson acoustics, I would gladly buy one of those if I could find one, in good shape at a good price. These new ones, I'm not convinced that they have the same quality of workmanship. Where I feel like Martin has stuck with their quality of workmanship more than Gibson. So that's my take on the Gibson L00 Parlor size guitar. It's not a true Parlor, but it's small. It's similar to a Parlor. I really like a Martin Zero single lot. That's something I've been thinking about, and I bought this one instead because this one was equipped with electronics, and the single lot I was looking at by Martin up in Maine wasn't, and so I chose the one for a few $100s more with the electronics. Now I'm second guessing what I did. Anyway, we'll see what happens, but I thought I'd do the review on this just in case I decide to trade it in the near future. So I'm Dan Stephen Erickson. I'm a songwriter. I also do some reviews on some of my instruments, and maybe I'll have another review soon because I might get another one. I've got a couple electric guitars, I've got some pedals, I've got a mandolin, a banjo. I'm going to do some other instrument talks here in the near future. Until then, hit the subscribe button and check out my website at danstephenerickson.com, and we'll see you soon with a song.